Hi, this is, as you see, this is India. India is a nation that has many states. Each state has its own language, own culture, way of dressing is different, uh, way of living life is different. But even the culture is different, even the language is different, but they all, live in unity. So, if I want to explain about India, now India consists of 29 states, uh, and uh, uh, and 29 states and 7 territories, which is called as union territories, that does not fall under the state government. That has a different law, except for the one in Pondicherry, which falls under the Tamil Nadu government. And there are India has a total population of 1.3 billion. If I have to be precise with the exact population, it would be 1.331 billion. That is almost very close to China. China is what 1.384 billion. It is said that in few years' time, India might overtake China and become the number one populated country in the world. India as an official language, that is Hindi, and the total language, official language that is in India is 31, but the government has recognized few of the languages that is recognized by the government of India, that is 22. But the survey says that the census that was taken in 1961, it says that India consisted of 1,652 languages, out of which currently it is believed that over 880 languages are still in use in India. And in India is not a place which has only one religion, but it has a vast number of religions. I mean, is in India. One of the few of the main religions we find is Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, Sikhism, Islam, and Christianity. Apart from this, you have the Parsis and Jews and so on. India is a country where you have huge diversity of religions, but even though there is a diversity in religion, diversity in culture, we all have unity in that diversity. I want to take you to the actual percentage of religion. Religion wise, I want to show you the percentage that is in India, and how much percent of the total population is Hindu, how much Christians are there, and how many Islam. If it comes to Islam, what is the population percentage that is in India? So this would give you the idea of where the religion population wise stands. India. The most population in India is Hinduism, which consists of 80.5%. Islam comes second with 13.8%. Christianity stands third with 2.3%. Sikhism stands fourth with 1.9%, and Buddhism, Jainism, Parsis, and Jews all combined together, they stand 1.5%. The important thing is, outside world calls India as India, but in India, people do not call it as India, but they call it as Hindustan, because they say that India belongs to the Hindus, and whoever, whether it is a politician, whether it is anybody, a common man, anybody, who sees himself, very a strong Hindu person, if he's a very strong Hindu person, he would never call it as India, but he will call it as Hindustan. Even the prime minister, when he addresses the in the states, or when he addresses to the people of India, he says Hindustan, he never addresses as India. And here are the few words that would help you understand few words that you can use when you want to interact with the people of India. These words are in Hindi. When you say hello, for hello you say namaste or namaskar. If you want to greet somebody saying good morning, it is Subh Prabhat or Shubh Prabhat. If you meet somebody in the evening and you want to greet him good evening, it is Subh Shandhya. Shubh means good, and Sandhya means sunset. The sun going down is called a Sandhya. And if you want to greet somebody as good night, you say Subratri. And you want to say bye to anybody, you say Alvida. And if there is a person you meet and you want to introduce yourself, saying my name is so and so, you say my mera naam, Christopher hai, or whatever your name is, you use mera naam hai. And you want to ask him how are you, you say aap kaise ho. And if he asks you, how are you, if you want to say I'm fine, you say main acha hu. And what's your name? It is aapka naam kya hai? Aap, is a respectful word. When you're meeting somebody who is elder, you say aap. And if you're meeting somebody who's very small, a kid or something, you say tu. Tera, tera, yeah, tum. All right. And where are you from? Aap kahan se ho? And if you want to say I'm from so and so country, you say main Thailand se hu, main Malaysia se hu, main India se hu. And when you want to say thank you for the generosity they have shown you, you say dhanyavad. And the other thing I want to say is India is known for one of the monumental structure, that is the Taj Mahal, which is one of the 9 wonders in the world. It has been, the people know India by Taj Mahal because that is one thing that very beautiful, and people admire it because of the way it is being built. It is built with white marbles. This was built by King Shah Jahan, because he loved his wife Mumtaz so much. He built this monument, and he wanted to build a same monument in black, on the other side of the river, so that he could sit and watch this Taj Mahal from there. But that dream, could not be fulfilled because his son, when he took over the kingdom, he put him in jail, and he spent the rest of his life in the prison, where he was made to sit in the 4 walls and was not allowed to go out, meet anybody, and so says the history. And one important thing I want to draw your attention to is we know India as a land of many idols. We say that people of India have many idols, many gods and many goddesses, and they have many festivals. They have many rituals. They have many beliefs and all those stuffs. But one thing I want to draw your attention to is the Kumbh Mela. Kumbh Mela is something that is followed, that is organized, or that is it is organized. I would say that is the right word. It is not a festival, but it is a time where the devotees from all over India, especially people from North India, gather in this place, and they take a dip in the river, and they saying that their sins, if they come to this place during this moment, and if they take a bath in the river, they believe that their sins would be washed away. So this Kumbh Mela happens in 2 places. One is in Varanasi, and the other one is in Ujjain. Varanasi is in Uttar Pradesh, that is towards the north of India, and Ujjain is in middle. It is in the central India. This is what happens in the evening. Every evening, during the course of this puja, and during the course of this festival, every evening there is a time called as Aarti, where the priests of the temple, what they do is they carry huge Aarti, fire, and they start worshipping the river as the sun goes down. And people, gather. People, they feel this is the important moment that they should not miss in their life. So people from everywhere, do not want to miss this arti. So they, gather from different places, come there and stand as the priest, offer the pujas, and as they worship. And people, stay, and throughout the puja, and after they return home. The most important thing is, I said, once it happens once in 4 years, especially in Ujjain and Varanasi. And these are called as Nanga Babas. These are people who separate themselves from the world, separate themselves from the pleasures of the world, and get into the forest, and they spend time in meditating. To be very clear, they die for themselves. They die for their pleasures. That is the reason they do not wear any clothes. They wander around naked. And during these festivals, once in 4 years, these people called as Nanga Babas, that is naked priests or naked gurus, what they do is they come in big numbers. They come in big numbers, just to worship and give blessing to the people who come to them for blessings. And it is not thousands, it is not few hundreds or thousand, but lakhs and lakhs of people come from different places. These people can be found in Gujarat and mainly in the forest areas, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, and also Madhya Pradesh, all sorts of areas. And they don't have any shame walking out naked. There are times they come out into the cities as well, and there are times people go to the forest just to have a glimpse of these people, because they, ladies, people who are barren, who could not conceive child, what they believe is, if they go and worship, these babas, if they could get blessings from these people, they have a belief that they could conceive and they could give birth to a child. And that's the reason, many people walk into the, jungles, and, in order to have a glimpse of them and to have blessings from them. I've put in few, pictures, but, if you could, deeply research on these people, they not only come to worship, but they perform different acts as well. Acts like, what they do is they tie a truck to their genital organ, and they pull the truck, and they carry tons and tons of rocks and bricks on their genital organs, and they just walk. And they want to show that how much spirituality they have attained by do this. This you can compare with it with the monks. Many monks, you can see that they pierce, they press knives towards their throat, and throat, and the knife does not go through. Instead, the knife is bent, and they take a driller and start drilling onto the head, and nothing happens. The same act they perform, so that people that's the reason people consider them as supernatural beings, who have attained that maturity, who have attained the place where an ordinary man cannot attain. I want to when I'm speaking on this, I want to give you some insights of what belief the Hindus have. What belief the Hindus have. Normally Hindu people, they are people who do not rely on their own thinking. What if you see in India, they worship human beings. They worship all the creatures. They worship the trees. They worship the mountains. The reason for them doing that, if I could give you a better example, I could give the example of a cobra. They worship cobra as God. The reason they worship cobra is they think that cobra is more powerful than an human being, because if a cobra bites a person, that person would be dead. So it is out of fear those people worship things, out of the nature or the greatness, the greatness. They compare their life with others and they see, whoa, this thing is much bigger. This thing is much dangerous. This thing it's very huge than me. So I need to worship that. That's how, people do with human beings as well. These people perform many signs. They perform many wonders. And not only these, we have many Babas, there are many Babas who consider themselves as spiritual gurus. People consider them as God. They go and worship them. They listen to their teachings and they walk according to their teachings. They don't mind or they don't think the teachings that they are getting, whether it is true, whether it is logic, whether it has anything to do with the life. No, they don't think about it. They feel is, no, he is a person who has attained something I could not attain. He is a person who has great knowledge, immense knowledge, which I do not have. He is in a different level. I'm not in that level. So what they do is they do not worry what they think. They do not worry. They do not think if there is any logic in that. All they do is he has attained the thing that I could not attain. That is the reason people are compelled in India to follow these people and follow this teaching as well. And the other thing I want to take you to is the Amarnath Yatra. This is a place that is in the Himalayas. On the top, it is at the top of the Himalayas. This is like we say, we can compare it as, for the Muslims, what is Mecca, and for the most of the Christians, what is Israel is for the Hindus. The Amarnath is the same for the Hindus. They feel that I need to visit this place before I die, because they feel if I visit this place, I would receive moksha. Moksha is what the Hindu feel as eternal life, or some heaven. You can call it as heaven. What they feel is heaven. This particular place is located in Himalayas. It is at the top of the Himalayas. People walk a long distance, at least 7 to 8 kilometers to reach this place. Old people, many parents or many people in a family. If there is a parent who is getting old, if somebody who is getting old, children arrange for a pilgrim tour. They call it as a pilgrim tour, where they take them to different temples in India, and the final destination would be Amarnath, because they see this as an important place. Actually, the white thing that you're seeing, they consider this as Shiv Linga. Shiv is the third person of the Trinity according to the Hindus, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Shiva is power. What they consider Shiva, and they consider Shiva as a mighty figure, because they believe that he has the power to destroy anything. The other name of Shiva is Shakti, that is power. They say Shiva means power. So they see this as Shivlinga, the person who has overcome everything in the world. This place, they believe that Shiva. This is the place where Shiva, sat down and passed on explained the secrets of life to many people. So they go there so that they could attain the ultimatum in their life. The important thing is, Hindus believe that there are 330 million gods and goddesses in their religion. Not one, not two, 330 million. And the one animal Hindus respect a lot, they consider it as their mother, it's the cow. And why they do that? Because they believe that the maximum number of gods and goddesses are in the cow. This is how they consider it. You take it. I can tell you a few names like Lakshmi, the goddesses of money, Saraswati, the goddesses of studies, and you have Shakti, Shiva, many, Vishnu, Brahma. They say, many of the goddesses, God and goddesses are in the cow, so that is the reason they consider cow to be very sacred, and they consider cow to be their mother, and they worship cow. They feed cow, they worship cow, and when you walk into India, especially the North India, it would not be strange, for a person, going out every morning and feeding the cows and touching the cows and worshiping it. And they see cow, they value the cow in their life so much that they collect the urine and they drink it, and they say that this is a sacred water, holy water. They consider cow's urine to be a holy water. When there is a housewarming done in an Hindu family, the first thing they do is they bring a female cow into the house and allow the cow to urinate in the house, and they would take the urine in a cup and start sprinkling it all over the house. So they want the whole house to be holy. So they don't feel awkward to drink. You can find many ladies walking, when the cow passes the urine, they will take it in their hand and drink it. I just want to before me ending, I just want to share you another experience which I had. This happened in South India, where I was invited to a village by one of my friends to attend their village festival. And I honestly, said, okay, I generously said I would come. Went there and had my lunch, and I met the family, and we had a good time. And in the evening, there was this huge gathering that was there near the temple, where all the people of the village had gathered. And I was very curious to know what exactly was happening. So I too went there and I was watching everything. And there was a calf, buffalo calf, a person was holding tight, one by the tail, the other, holding the rope, that was tied to the neck. And there was one person holding a big knife, ready to, slit the body, slit the head from the body. The moment he slit the head from the body, I could see the person who cut the head, falling down unconscious. And I saw this old lady was about 85 years old. In the afternoon when I saw her, she could not walk. She was, just limping around. She was, to move few steps, she could find it very hard. The moment the calf was cut, I could see her running towards the calf, holding the throat of the calf, and started drinking the raw blood. The moment I saw that, I was so disturbed, I could not stand. But I could see that lady, the old lady, drinking that blood for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, there was no blood, not even a single drop, was left in that, in the carcass. That is one of the instances that is happening in India. Earlier, I showed you the slides of the Kumbh Mela, the Amarnath Yatra. There are many instances. I could say, there are many festival seasons. Before the festivals, I've seen people, hundreds of people, walking kilometers, not 1 kilometer, not 2 kilometers. They walk for 250 kilometers, 300 kilometers. Why? They want a blessing in their life. They want the God they worship to bless them, to solve their problems, to do good in their lives. I know in Rajasthan, I visited a temple, during Diwali. There is this place called, a place called as Godra. No, I'm sorry, I misspelled the place. I don't remember the place. That falls in between Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. I just went there. I could see people, crawling kilometers. Heavy sun, the sun is, beating hard on them. But even then, they are crawling. I could see people finishing that 25 kilometers with, two legs and, with walking like an animal. Why? They want God, their God, on which they believe in, do good. They want their God to bless them. Year after year, I see people going and doing all kinds of stuff. I see people walking 300 kilometers. I see their, a foot with blisters. Even with those pains, they walk. All they want is somebody to look into their life. All they want is somebody to bless them. All they want is somebody to look into their pain and comfort them and give them hope. But, they hardly understand the trust, the hope they are putting on to get hope, to get blessings, to get joy, to get peace. Can't give them. Today, we have the privilege. We go to church. We say to ourselves, oh, I'm blessed because I know the living God. We say, oh, I'm blessed because I'm going to go to heaven. I've accepted Jesus as my Savior. Wow, that's a good one. But what about them? Did God only love you? Is not God loving them? Is not God wanting them to have the same privilege that you and me are having today? Does God not want to give the same eternal life that you and me are enjoying today? God does not want to give the same relationship, the same love, the same bonding that you and me are enjoying with the Father today? I remember C.D. Studd saying this. He says, you enjoy the sound of the bell, of the church bell, but I'm going to pitch my tent near the hell to rescue people from going to hell. Brothers and sisters, today we are so much involved, in ourselves and in our family, in our community, in our, works doing in the church. We have almost forgotten the last words Jesus spoke to us. Today, I see, what's happening in India. If you see the population of Christian in India, it's 2.5%. We have so many churches, we have so many missions. Still, there is need for people in this place. If you have the burden for India, if you have the burden for those people who are running behind the idols, who are running behind, humans who consider themselves very close to God, if you want them, their eyes to be opened for them to see the real life, the real way, and the real truth, what are you waiting for? Pack your bags. Go to the places where people are waiting for you, where people are eagerly waiting for somebody who can preach them the peace, who can teach them, who can preach them the joy that is through Jesus Christ. Jesus said, "Go." Are we going today? I encourage you, as you're watching this, to pray to God. If you are not being burdened to go, I would request you to at least spare few minutes every day praying for this big country which needs God very much, which needs to know the truth, which needs to know the way, which needs to know the life that is Jesus Christ. I hope that this information would prompt you, would give you the burden to pray for that country. And if God is really speaking to you very hard, and if God is really putting you the burden to go to that place, please prayerfully go to the place where God is showing you and start preaching the gospel for them, sharing the gospel for them. Thank you.